Welcome to True Crime Pulse, where we explore the harrowing and perplexing stories of real-life crimes. In today's episode, we delve into a chilling case of suburban deception and fatal passion that rattled the quiet community of Pineville, North Carolina. This is the story of Lisa Turner, a seemingly ordinary housewife whose clandestine affair with a neighbor's son led to a gruesome murder. Lisa Turner, a 45-year-old stay-at-home mother, was a long-standing resident of Pineville, an upper-middle-class suburb. Known for her active involvement in the community, she was a respected member of the local Parent-Teacher Association, PTA, frequently organizing school fundraisers and events. Additionally, she was a dedicated participant in her church choir, where she sang each Sunday, embodying a spirit of kindness and service. Her outward persona was one of warmth and generosity, and Lisa was widely regarded as a pillar of the community. However, beneath her seemingly perfect life, Lisa harbored feelings of isolation and unfulfillment. Married to Rob Turner, a successful corporate lawyer, her ambitions of becoming a teacher had been set aside to focus on raising their two children, Carmel, 17, and Militia, 14. As Rob became increasingly absorbed in his demanding legal career, particularly during the aftermath of the Great Recession, a rift formed between the couple. The emotional distance between them left Lisa feeling trapped in a gilded cage, yearning for attention and excitement that her home life no longer provided. In the final days leading up to her tragic death, Lisa maintained her usual busy schedule. She was deeply involved in planning her church's Easter event, coordinating volunteers and crafting decorations. To onlookers, she appeared to be content, sipping coffee with friends at Starbucks and keeping up her friendly, approachable demeanor. However, inside, Lisa was grappling with a growing inner turmoil torn between her role as a dutiful mother and wife and her desire for something more. Unbeknownst to her friends and family, Lisa had embarked on a secret affair with Jason Brace Collins, the 18-year-old son of her neighbor. This forbidden relationship filled the void in her life, providing the excitement and passion she had been longing for. Lisa privately documented her feelings in a hidden journal, where she expressed both the thrill and guilt that accompanied her illicit romance. But her internal conflict soon became overwhelming. On the morning of March 21, 2012, Lisa's life came to a sudden and violent end. Her husband, Rob, unexpectedly returned home from a business trip to New York City, hoping to surprise his wife. However, instead of finding Lisa engaged in her usual morning routine, Rob was met with a scene of unimaginable horror. In the kitchen, he discovered Lisa lying lifeless in a pool of blood, surrounded by broken dishes and the remnants of a violent struggle. Lisa had been both shot and stabbed multiple times, and chillingly, the number 304 had been carved into her abdomen. In shock and disbelief, Rob dropped his suitcase and rushed to his wife's side, but it was too late. He immediately dialed 911, his voice trembling as he struggled to convey the devastation he had stumbled upon. He could only repeat, she's gone," as the dispatcher tried to calm him and direct him to wait for the authorities. When Officer Miller arrived at the scene, she quickly took control, guiding Rob away from Lisa's body and securing the area for the detectives who were soon to follow. Rob remained in a state of shock, his world irreversibly shattered by the tragic discovery. Detective Tiana Williams, a meticulous investigator known for her sharp instincts, arrived shortly after with Officer Mark Vidria. They carefully surveyed the gruesome scene, documenting every detail: blood splatters, broken items, and the ominous numbers carved into Lisa's body. The brutality of the attack suggested a deeply personal motive. As the forensic team gathered evidence, Detective Williams began to consider possible suspects. There were no signs of forced entry, leading her to believe Lisa had known her attacker. Meanwhile, Rob was taken to the police station for questioning. Despite his shock, Rob cooperated with the investigation, explaining that he had just returned from a trip to New York for work. He admitted that his marriage with Lisa had been under strain due to his demanding job, but denied any involvement in her death. Back at the scene, detectives found a partially burnt diary in the fireplace. Though most of the entries were too charred to read, the discovery hinted at deeper secrets in Lisa's life. This, combined with the personal nature of the crime, suggested that the motive might lie closer to home than anyone expected. Neighbors soon gathered outside the Turner house, trying to make sense of the tragedy. Lisa had been a pillar of the community, heavily involved in local school events and church activities. Everyone was in disbelief that such a brutal crime could occur in their quiet, upper-middle-class suburb. As Rob's alibi was verified, his colleagues and flight records, confirmed he had been in New York during the time of the murder. Detective Williams and her team knew they couldn't rule him out entirely, despite his cooperation. The crime was too brutal, too intimate to ignore the possibility of someone close to Lisa being involved. With a shaken community and mounting pressure, Detective Williams and her team were determined to uncover the truth behind Lisa Turner's murder. Little by little, as more secrets about Lisa's life began to emerge, it became clear that this was not just a random act of violence but a deliberate and calculated crime. However, without concrete evidence tying him to the scene, the police had to expand their investigation and consider other potential suspects. Their next focus was Jason Brace Collins, Lisa's 18-year-old neighbor, who had just graduated high school and was set to pursue a degree in engineering. Jason was popular in the community, known for his good looks and charming personality. But the investigation took a surprising turn when a secret affair between him and Lisa came to light. Detective Tiana Williams and Officer Mark Vidria brought Jason in for questioning. Nervous and fidgeting, he admitted to the affair, describing it as consensual and claiming he was in love with Lisa, who gave him the attention and excitement he craved. When questioned about his whereabouts on March 20th, Jason said he was at home playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, but with no one to corroborate his alibi, it remained weak. His behavior was erratic throughout the interrogation, calm one moment, then angry and defensive when the affair was mentioned, though he firmly denied harming Lisa. The police obtained a warrant to search Jason's home. In his room, they discovered explicit love letters and compromising photos, confirming the affair but providing no direct evidence of his involvement in the murder. Neighbors reported that Jason had been acting strangely after Lisa's death, appearing agitated and withdrawn, but without solid evidence. He remained a suspect under a cloud of doubt. Next, the police turned their attention to Paula Brace Collins, Lisa's best friend and Jason's mother. Paula, 43, was a stay-at-home mom and active church choir leader, unaware of her son's involvement with Lisa. She seemed shocked when confronted with the affair during her interrogation, visibly upset by the revelation. Paula had a solid alibi for the night of March 20th, corroborated by church members, but the detectives pressed her on whether she had any reason to harm Lisa. Though visibly distressed, Paula denied any knowledge of the affair or motive to hurt her closest friend. Paula vehemently denied any motive, stating that she loved Lisa like a sister and would never hurt her. She became emotional, tears welling up in her eyes, and continued to deny any involvement in Lisa's death. To corroborate Paula's alibi, the detectives interviewed other church choir members. They confirmed that Paula had been working on church preparations that night. Additionally, neighbors reported seeing Paula at home, further supporting her account. Despite Paula's solid alibi, the police still had to consider her a suspect due to her close relationship with both Lisa and Jason. They searched Paula's house for any evidence but found nothing linking her to murder. The community of Pineville was shaken as local news stations, including Sauk Chief Charlotte's local newsletter, reported on Paula's questioning, casting suspicion on another pillar of the community. Detective Williams and Officer Vidria continued to investigate, knowing that Paula's strong alibi and lack of evidence made it difficult to link her to the crime. They needed to explore every possible angle to uncover the truth behind Lisa Turner's brutal murder. On the morning of March 25, 2012, a break in the case came with a surprising discovery. It was a sunny day in Pineville, and Detective Tiana Williams received a call from a local resident named Leah Johnson. Leah was walking her dog in a nearby park when she found a small leather-bound journal partially buried under a bush. She quickly reported it to the police, thinking it might be connected to the recent murder. Detective Williams and Officer Mark Vidria rushed to the park to journal. They carefully placed it in an evidence bag and took it back to the station for examination. The journal turned out to be a photocopy of Lisa Turner's secret diary, but one that was too burnt to be able to read, containing detailed and graphic entries about her affair with Jason Brace Collins. It also included her thoughts and feelings about her marriage and her sense of loneliness. The diary entries revealed that Lisa had been planning to end the affair with Jason. She felt guilty about betraying her family and wanted to focus on repairing her marriage and her church work. In addition, Lisa noted strange changes in Jason's behavior. She described how he thought he was lighted by the angel's light and how he badgered her to have sex with him 12 times a day. The last entry, dated March 19th, mentioned her intention to meet Jason to break off the relationship. This new evidence shifted the focus of the investigation. Detective Williams and her team realized that Jason's obsession with Lisa might have driven him to murder her when she tried to end things. The diary also included several entries describing how Lisa seduced Jason by bathing naked in backyard, which had a direct line of sight to his bedroom. These entries painted a calculated and disturbing picture of their intense and tumultuous relationship. The police decided to bring Jason in for further questioning. They confronted him with the diary entries, hoping to get a reaction. Jason initially denied everything, but when faced with the detailed descriptions of their affair, he broke down. He admitted to being in love with Lisa and feeling devastated when she wanted to end things. Detective Williams noticed that Jason's behavior was erratic and decided to have him undergo a psychological evaluation. The results indicated that Jason might be suffering from an undiagnosed bipolar disorder, which could explain his extreme reactions and mood swings. This information added a new layer to the investigation, suggesting that Jason's mental state could have played a role in the crime. The community of Pineville was eager for answers, and the pressure on the police to solve the case increased. Detective Williams and her team continued to piece together the evidence, knowing they were closer to uncovering the truth behind Lisa Turner's tragic death. On March 26, 2012, the police made a breakthrough in the case. After reviewing Lisa Turner's diary and conducting a psychological evaluation of Jason Brace Collins, the evidence pointed clearly to him as the prime suspect. Detective Tiana Williams and Officer Mark Gidria decided it was time to bring Jason in for a formal arrest. Jason Brace Collins, 18, was known for his charm and good looks, but the investigation revealed a darker side. Jason had fallen deeply in love with Lisa, and when she tried to end their affair, he couldn't handle it. His undiagnosed bipolar disorder likely contributed to his extreme reaction. Jason had become possessive and obsessed with Lisa, and the thought of losing her drove him to a fit of rage. The murder occurred on the night of March 20th. Jason had gone to the Turner house for sex, knowing Rob was away on a business trip. Lisa let him in, intending to end the relationship. An argument ensued, escalating quickly. Jason, overwhelmed by his emotions, shot Lisa and then stabbed her multiple times. The number 304 carved into her stomach was a final, twisted act of control. On the morning of March 26th, around 10 a.m., the police arrived at the Brace Collins home to arrest Jason. Detective Williams led the team. They knocked on the door, and Paula Brace Collins answered, shocked to see the police. Jason was inside, and when he saw the officers, he tried to run but was quickly apprehended. Jason's reaction to the arrest was a mix of surprise and resignation. He didn't resist but looked defeated, knowing his actions had caught up with him. He was handcuffed and taken to the police station. During the ride, he remained silent, staring blankly ahead. The news of Jason's arrest spread quickly through Pineville. Local TV stations, including Sauk TV, reported the developments. The community was in shock, especially those who knew Jason as the charming boy next door. The Turner family, devastated by Lisa's death, expressed relief that the murderer had been caught. They were grateful to the police for their hard work but still struggled with their loss. At the police station, Jason was booked and charged with first-degree murder. He confessed to the crime during interrogation, detailing how his love for Lisa had turned into an uncontrollable obsession. He admitted that when Lisa tried to break up with him, he snapped and killed her in a fit of rage. Jason's arrest brought some closure to the community, but the pain of losing Lisa Turner lingered. Her family and friends tried to move forward, but the memory of that tragic night remained fresh in their minds. The trial of Jason Brace Collins began on July 15, 2012, at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. The courtroom was packed with members of the Pineville community, including Lisa Turner's family and friends. The prosecution was led by District Attorney Leah Kostrowicz, a 50-year-old seasoned lawyer known for her tough stance on violent crimes. Leah presented a strong case, detailing how Jason's obsession with Lisa had driven him to commit the murder. Leah Kostrowicz described the brutal nature of the crime, emphasizing the shooting and stabbing, as well as the number 304 carved into Lisa's stomach. She brought in forensic experts to explain the evidence collected at the scene, including DNA and fingerprints linking Jason to the crime. She also presented entries from Lisa's diary, which documented her affair with Jason and her plans to end it. The defense attorney, Richard Blake, was a 45-year-old lawyer known for his calm and methodical approach. He argued that Jason's undiagnosed bipolar disorder played a significant role in his actions. Richard called in medical experts who testified about Jason's mental state, explaining how his condition could have led to a loss of control. He also highlighted Jason's young age and lack of prior criminal record, suggesting that he deserved leniency. Throughout the trial, Lisa Turner's family watched with heavy hearts. Her husband, Rob, and their children, Carmel and Militia, often broke down in tears as they listened to the details of her murder. The community members who attended the trial showed their support for the Turner family, hoping for justice to be served. After weeks of testimonies and deliberations, the jury reached a verdict. On August 12, 2012, Jason Brace Collins was convicted of first-degree murder, a verdict that echoed through the courtroom with a heavy silence. As the judge pronounced his sentence life in prison without the possibility of parole, Jason accepted his fate with an emotionless blank stare, betraying little of the gravity of the moment. For the family and friends of Lisa Turner, this verdict brought a fragile sense of closure. However, the deep pain of losing her would never fully subside. They felt the punishment was warranted, given the brutal nature of the crime and its devastating impact on their lives. In the community of Pineville, a bittersweet mix of relief and sorrow settled in, knowing that justice had been served, but also mourning the loss of a beloved member of their town. Local news outlets, including Lusac T, provided extensive coverage of the trial, capturing the emotional journey of the Turner family and the community's reactions to the verdict. Conversations about the trial and its aftermath filled homes, schools, and places of worship as residents sought to make sense of the tragedy that had shaken their quiet suburb. In the months following Jason Brace Collins' trial, life in Pineville gradually began to return to a semblance of normalcy, yet the scars left by Lisa Turner's murder still remained, a constant reminder of the dark event that had unfolded. For the Turner family, the guilty verdict represented a hard-won sense of justice, knowing that Jason would spend his life in prison for robbing them of their beloved Lisa. Rob Turner channeled his energy into rebuilding his life and providing support for his children, Carmel and Militia, who were grappling with the profound loss of their mother. The community rallied around the Turner family, offering various forms of support and comfort. Neighbors organized meal trains and childcare assistance, alleviating some of the burdens on Rob as he transitioned into his new role as a single parent. The local church, where Lisa had actively participated, held memorial services to celebrate her life and the positive impact she had on those around her. Meanwhile, Paula Brace Collins faced her own tumultuous challenges. As both Jason's mother and Lisa's best friend, she was devastated by the betrayal and loss of both her son and her closest confidant. In her grief, Paula withdrew from church activities and community gatherings, choosing instead to focus her energy on supporting Jason through letters and occasional prison visits. Now incarcerated at Central Prison in Raleigh, North Carolina, Jason worked to adjust to life behind bars. He engaged in counseling and received medication for his bipolar disorder, striving to manage his condition during his sentence. While he expressed remorse for his actions, Jason fully understood the severity of his crime and the devastation it wrought upon Lisa's family and the broader community. As time went on, the community of Pineville remained vigilant but slowly began to heal, cherishing the memories of Lisa Turner while looking toward brighter days ahead. The tragic events of March 2012 had left an indelible mark on the community, but through unity and resilience, Pineville continued to foster its close-knit spirit, with neighbors supporting one another through life's challenges. Thank you for joining us on this episode of True Crime Pulse. The story of Lisa Turner serves as a poignant reminder of the hidden struggles and dangerous secrets that can lie beneath the surface of even the most seemingly perfect lives. Tune in next time as we delve into another chilling tale from the annals of true crime.